Hello everybody, today we're going to be talking about my BMW 7 Series. For those who don't know, last year I made the potentially fatal decision to buy, as a daily driver, a 2007 BMW 760LI. Yeah, possibly, very stupid thing to do, but it's a magnificent car, I love it dearly. However, after having it for not too long, I realised that there were a few problems with it that the previous owner neglected to mention when he sold it to me. Actually, not previous owner, the tradesperson that I got it from, and due to various things, the car couldn't go back. But the problems I'm dealing with are these. Number one, a steering wobble. Number two, a slight misfire. And number three, a coolant leak. The first two are not much of an issue. The steering wobble, we believe, is the result of a very warm bush on the front of the car. Quite a common issue with all of this category of vehicle. The second one, I suspect, is a bad coil pack. Looking through the car's history, which is actually pretty decent, I can see that the previous owner had an issue with a misfire and was told to replace all 12 coil packs, but chose to replace only one. That solved his problem back then, however it's now returned. It's not bad enough to actually give me a fault code, which has been slightly annoying, but you can tell it's just not running quite as perfectly as a nice big BMW V12 should. What I suspect is that the other 11 coil packs on the car might be even original, and so they're probably all starting to fail now too. So I'm hoping that replacing those will fix it, but that's not what we're going to do first. The more pressing and worrying issue for me is the coolant leak. Now, I was hoping to be able to film with the car to hand. Unfortunately, because of social distancing rules at the moment, the car's actually been off with my mechanic for some time. So what I'm doing is I've had parts sent to me, I'm going to send them to him, and then when he's fitted them, I'm going to hopefully be able to show you what happened and then obviously report back as to whether it worked. The coil packs I'm hopefully going to sort at a later date because I also want to give the car a full carbon clean. The 760LI, introduced in 2001 for the E65, E66 generation of 7 Series, was the world's first direct injection V12. And as with many direct injection engines, particularly early ones that are exclusively direct injection, it does suffer from coking issues, much like many Audi engines of the time. I'm going to do a separate video on that, but I'm not too worried about it. The coolant leak is the thing that has me concerned because these engines and other BMW engines from the period are well known for this very, very expensive problem. In short, between the two V's, or between the two cylinder heads, the two banks of the engine, there is this coolant pipe that runs through the middle. And that leaks. There's a little seal at the end that goes, and it starts to leak coolant. You get coolant dripping right out of a little hole in the front of the engine. Now, in theory, it's not that difficult a thing to replace. The problem is, because of where the coolant pipe is in the engine, it's a devil to get to. The official BMW fix involves something like 2 or 3 days of labour, and it's a 5-figure repair bill. I've seen over $10,000 quoted for this fix because you have to essentially rebuild a very complicated engine. There are a couple of aftermarket solutions. The one that I was aware of a few years ago involved putting a collapsible pipe in the engine. So rather than having to strip everything down, what you do is you'd open the top of the engine up, you'd cut the old pipe in half, you'd drop a new one in, sort of, extend it out, and that would solve the problem. So that reduced the cost of the fix from sort of $10,000 down to about $8,000. It's still not a cheap fix, but it certainly solves the problem, or should do. There is, however, another company which says that they can fix it for even less, and I thought it would be silly not to try the cheapest and possibly best fix first off. Now, it's from a company called BimmerFix. Most of the stuff about this product relates to the, I think it's the N62 engine, which is the 4.4 and 4.8 litre V8, which went in stuff like my BMW 645, goes in the X5, goes in the 7 Series, all sorts of stuff. However, the V8 and V12 of the time are closely related enough that they seem to suffer from the same problem, and the good news there is that it should hopefully be able to be fixed using the same method. So BimmerFix's solution is a little bit different. So you buy it from them, it's this little kit. Now, they've sent this to me at a discount, not free. For the V8, it's about $240, and for the V12, so the 7 Series V12 and Rolls-Royce engines, which are, for all intents and purposes, the same thing, it's a bit more money. It's about $400. So they've sent this to me at a discount in exchange for the video because I thought it'd be interesting to make this. So their solution is relatively simple. It's this. It is a little stent. So the idea is that you sort of put this in the front of the engines. This goes just behind the water pump, and this will then override, I guess, the seal. It will replace the leaking seal and fix your problem. Simple as that. And this kit here comes with instructions as to how to fit it, because it isn't the simplest of processes. It's a little bit complicated, but what I'm going to do now is, with any luck, my mechanic will send me a few pictures of the process, and I'll be able to show you just what happened. So let's go to that. And send them he did. I want to say a massive thank you to Charlie and his team for being very professional, very decent, and working on the car in less than ideal conditions. Happily, what we suspected to be the problem, i.e. that little seal at the end of the coolant pipe, seems to have been the culprit. You can see pretty clearly from these pictures that it was certainly past its best. The kit went in exactly as instructed, so I have to say thank you to BimmerFix for sending that over to me, and it seems, a month down the line, to have cured the problem. We sorted out a couple of other bits with the car as well, but there are still some things that need to be done. So this really is now going to be the start of a little mini series of fixing up the 7 Series, preparing it for sale, because I'm the sort of person that wants to make sure that a car is in tip-top condition before I sell it on, or certainly without some glaring obvious faults. And there are still a few of those left on the 7, so next week I'm going to be tackling a small annoying problem that I think I can solve myself, and then after that I'm going to be getting some more experts to fix a slightly larger issue and just do some stuff that I hope will really help this car stand out and help me get the best return on it. Thanks for watching. Thanks again to Charlie and the team at William Francis for helping out. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you for the next one. Bye-bye.